back to my channel, Try5 Guy. Today I'm off to pick up a new motor for the Commodore Ute. Now I know I said I was going to put an LS in it, which I am. I'm still going to put the alloy 5.3 litre LS engine with the turbo on it, but I've been building a house lately, so it's really taken up a lot of my time, and I really don't think I can start it within the next, say, 6 to 8 months, because I've still got the house to build. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another 3.8 litre back in it and rebuild the automatic, or that's a plan, is to rebuild the automatic, but the 4L60E. So we'll see how that goes, but most likely I'll rebuild it. But I don't really like using, used transmissions. One thing I don't like doing, you never seem to get a good one. So I'm heading to Moorhead in Kentucky. They've got a 3-point litre out of a 94 Pontiac Bonneville. So pretty much the same engine, except in the Pontiac, they're turned the other way. Is it east-west? And obviously the Commodore Ute is, north-south or south-north, or whatever you want to call it. Or just normal, So heading there, I'm going to go pick it up. It's a cheap motor. It's done 131,000 miles, so what's that, just over 200,000 Ks, but it's just for now, just to get it on the road. I haven't driven it for nearly 2 years, well, 2 years, so and it's looking pretty tight, and I'll put a little clip to that right now. So the idea is to put another motor and transmission into it, get it running again, so I can use it for next coming spring. I'm heading to Australia in a couple of months, so that's what's going to hold me up doing the LS conversion. So, and I really want to do a couple of these, like a power tour, or these cruises they have locally here that go through about 3 or 4 states for about a week. So I'm not going to race it or anything. I just want to go in the cruise with everyone, do the, a touring car show. So I just think that would be really cool to get it going for that, and it's sort of like miss driving it. So guys, please like, subscribe. I'm going to pick up the motor now. It's about 2 hours away from my place, so I'm about, I think, about 18 miles away. So when I get there, I'll load it up and I'll have a quick walk around of the motor. But basically, I can't use the intake or the sump, all the fuel injection stuff. I don't know if the injectors are the same, but I've got my stuff off the L27 engine, so off my Commodore engine. So I'm going to pretty much put everything that I can use on that motor, because I don't actually know what happened to my motor. All I know, it's rattling pretty hard, and it's not the balancer, I know that for sure. I'm going to put a new balancer, water pump on it, all new gaskets, intake, pan gaskets, whatever, oil pump, whatever, get all that done too. So guys, like I said, I'm about 18 miles away, so let's go check this motor out, and we'll buy it, and then we'll start removing the transmission out of the Ute. Get that either another transmission, or get that rebuilt. There's a few local builders around here that rebuild transmissions, so I want to see what they think about rebuilding that auto. I mean, I drove it for 200 miles now in first and second gear, and that initially blew up the motor. I mean, I wasn't revving it overboard, but I was sitting on 75 miles an hour in second gear. So, I mean, I probably cooked the transmission, but it needs to be rebuilt anyway, so we'll see how we go. And I think a lot of that stuff is same as the 3.4 litre Firebird transmission, the pre-PWM transmission, and I'm pretty sure the Firebird, a 94 Firebird transmission, is identical. I know the converters are all the same, so let's just get the motor out first and go from there, eh? So I'll see you soon. So I'm at Dave's car and truck parts or something like that. Auto and truck parts right there. Nice autumn day. But mostly all late model stuff. There's nothing early here. But just waiting on them to bring out the engine. Alright guys, so here's the engine here. You guys must be, a lot of you guys are familiar with the 3.8 Buick. This is pre-95, pre-Ecotec as known in Australia. Same thing here, they switched over. Some Bonnevilles you'll find had the 94 type engine, and a lot of the vans did too, but as you can see, the architecture is all the same. It's just that the intake, you know, the intake is different, the oil pan's different, or the sump, and I think the oil filler bracket is different too. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean all this up and yeah, pressure wash it, and I'll be back. All right guys, so I got the engine home. It was pretty quick loading up the engine. It was in there before I can even videotape him coming out with it. I was inside the building looking at some other stuff, and he was already at the back of the truck. But yeah, so it's all loaded up. I've got it on my block and tackle on the beam at my house here. Well, this is the garage, house is upstairs. And yeah, I hope that beam doesn't bend. Just kidding, it's 14 inches thick. But anyway, so I'll lift it up and we'll put the engine crane, or bolt up the engine crane to it and get it on the, not engine crane, I'll bolt the engine stand onto it. And then we'll just go around it and have a quick look, and then I know there's a few differences, and I'll point out what I know that's different, and then I'm going to publish this video. It's going to be a quick video of just me picking up the engine, putting on the stand, and then what I want is all you die-hard V6 Commodore guys out there, or V6 3.8 guys, I want you to find anything else that I've missed that's different, that I need to change or maybe leave on. Yeah, so let's do that, eh? Alright, so I've got my trusty Harbor Freight engine stand right here. So I can take this engine off, but I have to bolt this on first. The motor mount, or the engine mounting part of it, but I'll jack it up and lift the engine up first. They put a seat belt on this on, so and he was towing it like that, like he was on the forklift like that. It's scary.
I'll just move it out a little bit so I can, get to the back of the motor.
So what I might do is, I'll do that to start with. Jack it up. Just for safety, so I don't like that way that motor's sitting so on that seat belt. I'm going to go forward and just drop it down to the ground, then I'll lift it back up. Just want to lower it down. Like that. Oh, did you see that? Okay, it's down. Oh, did you see that? It's going real quick. Wow. That's pretty tragic, that was. Don't think it damaged anything. Wow. Made a mess. As you can see here on the harmonic balancer, there's no marks, no dents, no scratches, no nothing. A smart thing would have been to put a tyre after that first jolt with the block and tackle, but a smart person would have put at least a tyre under it, sort of like take the, the brunt of the force hitting the ground. But there was no big sort of anything damaged except for that pan and the pickup, as you'll see in a second. All right, all pans off. There's no weight did anything to the motor. It crushed the oil filter. Hang on, let me get some light. It crushed the oil filter good and proper, but it did nothing to the motor. There's no, you think this will be broken, that being alloy, that would be snapped off, but no, I think it's fine. There's no way. It didn't even come close to the to that, what is it, splash pan for the oil. But that's fine, nothing wrong with it. Oil's a bit dirty. I mean, probably hasn't been changed for a while. That looked like it took a little bit of a tap. Yeah, that did, didn't it? Took a bit of a tap, but there was no damage there. So I wonder if that was like that already. I mean, there's absolutely no evidence of damage. I've got to replace that anyway with mine, so that's not a big drama. But okay, I'm just going to have a look at a couple of differences here with this thing. Light's not too good, guys. It's dark. Let's have a look. Don't know if that's normal. It says V6. It's got a part number there, GM part number, EV6. I don't know if that's on the Aussie ones. It's got 3800 over there on towards the front of the motor, right there where I'm pointing. I'm pretty sure the engine mount would go right there. 3 bolts there, 1, 2, and 3. Pull that off. I know the intake's different. The throttle body's at the back on this thing. The engine crosses over, as you can see. The exhaust crosses over, as you can see, unlike the Aussie ones. It's got a like a tubular manifold, probably can be modified to make an exhaust dump there. I think these front engine mount's going to be different, front wheel drive. I think this pulley system might be different, a little bit different. Yeah, so a few different things. What's this floating around in here? What's this thing here? Just saw it. I don't know what that is. Does anyone know what that is? It's just sitting in there like that. But the intake's been cracked. Sort of looks like a little LS intake. But yeah, that's gonna go. Like I said, guys, I can't see no damage to this at all. This has to come off anyway, right? Because the pickup would smash right into the front sump on my car. So I've got to change the sump, got to change the pickup, and got to change that. I know that much. I've got to pull off. There's that EV6 again on this side. Yeah, let me know if
the Aussie cars have that EV6. And also, does anyone know if the Aussie ones were built in Australia? Like, did Holden have their own casting plants of the 3.8, or did they all just come over from here? You know what I mean? So, this thing's had a cylinder head replaced. There it is there. You can probably see that right there. I got my finger on it. Right there, it's like a little do not remove. So someone's put another cylinder head on it, and I can't tell if it's had a pair put on it because there's a, hang on, I can't see, there's a bracket in the way on this side, so I can't really tell. But once I get this bracket off, I'll be able to tell if it's had a couple of heads put on it. Yeah, so pretty much it's a 94, something to do with the crank angle sensor or something like that. I really don't know much about these things, so let me know what you guys think. If you see any differences, let me know. I really appreciate it. On the weekend, I'm pulling out the 4L60E out of the Ute because that's gone too. I mean, that was slipping a little bit before I tried to get to Kentucky. When I say that is we left Maine and I got as far as New Jersey before I started having troubles, and then finally it broke down in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and that was it. I had to go pick it up, and it's been sitting there 2 years now, so she's really dirty, got a lot of green crap all over it. So I want to just get it going for a good year while I finish building my 5.3 litre alloy LS. It's a turbocharged one I'm doing. And I've got a, look at the mess I made, pissed off. But my 57 out there leaks more oil than that does, that mess. So I've got this, it's been built. I think the oil filter and this housing, that has to be replaced anyway, because that's my oil filter on the Ute sticks out sideways because the oil pan's at the front, because that would smash into the oil pan. I think that saved it the most. And you can see it there. So I sort of like fell like towards the sort of this area. I think it tweaked this a little bit, but I think that's it. I don't see any marks on the dampener. I mean, it would have made a hellacious mark on the dampener, wouldn't it? I mean, I don't see anything on it. But I think this took most of the brunt, followed by that side, this area of the oil pan, because it was like, I think it was like that. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I got to replace this thing anyway with mine and the oil pan. But I think I see some cross hashes in the bore. It just looks like that browny burnt color. But and that's all the oil I had in it. I don't know. I'm not too sure if they got rid of the oil that was in it. You know, just to get some, because that was loose. That was only hand tight. So maybe they just dropped some oil out of it. I'm not too sure. All right, guys. I left off looking at the Buick motor, or I mean, it's out of a Pontiac Bonneville, but same motor, right? So I've got my bonnet up here, and I'm starting to do, just pull off some of the hardware that's attached to the engine. I got all this side off, just from the top here for the bell housing to engine block. So I'm going to jack it up now, get to the torque converter bolts, exhaust while I'm at it, take off the tail shaft, get that all off while I'm underneath the car, so I can get the transmission out, undo the transmission lines. But it's getting there. I had to move it forward a bit to clear the camper. But man, she's a mess, it really is. I mean, this side here, just green, nasty looking. Been here for 2 years, and the underneath of it too, got surface rust on it. So I've got to clean that up when I get up in the garage. But poor thing's been sitting here. Got to get that up there. I'm going to jack up the whole car. It's a bit flat. That tyre's rotten anyway, but just a mess. I just can't wait to get it cleaned. You should see the airbox. They lived in here, the mice. Unreal, look at that. Unreal on the throttle body down there. Terrible. But anyway, I'll start unbolting anything that's holding the tranny to the car. Get all that done. Pull the tranny out. I've got another transmission over Firebird for it, so I don't know which one I'm going to build. I'm just going to build the best out of the two, but I paid $100 for the other transmission. So basically I bought that other transmission is to do a comparison, and I can tell you that the tail shaft housing, the extension housing, that is different for the Firebird, but they're interchangeable, so it should be all right. But yeah, I'm going to clean this old bird up, get it all clean again. It's disgusting. And look, it was only going to be my sort of daily driver here in the States, so I mean, a used engine and a rebuilt transmission is going to be good for it, you know. All right guys, I've got the 4L60E out. It is a 12 pin, so it's non PWM. Also, it's a 4HDD 94 model Commodore. So, alright, I don't know if I'm going to get this rebuilt or the Firebird one, which is up at the house down there, up there. But I don't know, I might get this one built. It's the original one out of it, right? So, should be able to get a converter over here. Looks identical to a Firebird one. I might just buy one. They're about 120 bucks here. Might just buy one if it's, you know, like, and see what it's, you know, compare it. I'm pretty sure everything else is the same, but I've noticed that some 4L60Es have got a ribbing here. Might be a later model sort of transmission, but I've seen them with ribbing here, like a strengthening rib, but this one obviously doesn't have one. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is pull the motor out. Already started doing stuff here. The engine mounts are off from the bottom. I'm going to take off the coil packs. I don't want to break them. Undo all the accessories. I'll pull the bonnet off it, and I'll lower the car back down, pull it off, put it on back of my Silverado here. Then I'll just drive it up to the house and put it next to the Pontiac motor, and I'll just compare them, do a comparison. I'm hoping to get that done in the next couple of days, but for you guys it'll be the next take on this video. So like I said, I'll undo the fuel injection lines. I've already got the exhaust off, obviously. Transmission lines are all off. Just because I'm going to take the radiator out anyway, and I'll take the air conditioning doesn't work. Something burst on it when I was in North Carolina once visiting my son. So the aircon, I'm just going to disconnect the lines, I guess, and anything else that's connected to it, like the booster and so forth. Anyway, I'll start doing that, ripping that apart. I'll get the engine hoist, put it right here, pick up this motor, put it on the back of the truck like I said, bring it up, and then what I'll do after that is, once it's got no motor and trans in it, I'm going to clean it up, because I've got no water at the house yet. There's no water, power, nothing. But we're building that sort of like as we've got money. So we nearly finished it, but the only power we got is I run an extension lead down there and power it up that way. But it's getting close. Yeah, I'll give it a good bath, you know, clean out the engine bay. Make sure there's no wires eaten away by the mice. I mean, they really made it. This is full. This is full of just mouse shit and house. It was a real pain in the ass getting this transmission out. I only had a blanket down, but these rocks are a bit hard on the old back. You know, I was crawling under there like I was 23 and I'm 53. But yeah, I want to get this back on the road, man. I want to do one of those power tours. I'm not going to race it, obviously. It's a 3.8 litre. I just want to cruise along with them, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I want to put a new set of sneakers on it, rebuild a tranny, put that good motor in it. Hopefully it's good. Probably do an exhaust on it, you know, I don't know, make it sound a little bit better. Not twin systems, just a single down the out of it. And that's it, and drive it, enjoy it, you know. Gets a lot of looks over here, I'm telling you. People used to love it when I used to pull up a set of lights. They go, what the hell's that? Some people knew it was Holden. A lot of people knew it was Holden, but I want to clean it all up and then start, you know, get a good season out of it, and then start doing the LS swap for it. I got everything, like I said, everything. Turbo, engine, 5.3 alloy, all alloy engine. I've got a rebuilt 4L60E for it. So anyway, let me start pulling the motor out. Hey guys, I had to get rid of some LP gas. Used to run on propane, so I had to remove all the wires from under the dash, and here's all those wires. They were all connected to the ECU on this side here. So you know, I don't really understand how the propane works, but obviously it's got to get its power from somewhere. But anyway, so that was connected to the ECU, but while I was under there, I had to take out this wiring, right, that I was with this big plug thing here. It's got the 3 prongs. You just press them in and it pulls out pretty easy. There's a little cover under there. It's got one like plastic clip. Take that out, you get your hand in there, no worries. A couple of screws holding the ECU in place. Pull on those little tabs on the ECU and it came out. But the thing was, mice been sitting here for a couple of years outside, and they eaten through. Well, these 2 wires went to that went to the wiring for the gas, right? And then he started eating through this one, and so far I've checked it and he hasn't eaten anywhere else, but he did eat this purple one. Maybe I can find out what it is, but in the pin out. But over here, he's eating through that wire and that wire there, and I don't know what they're for, them two, so I'm gonna have to find out. But he definitely ate through the wires for the gas. But these ones, like, I don't understand where they went. Oh, I had to disconnect. Here's the other 2 wires I had to disconnect from the you know, from the ECU. So I don't know if these 2 wires here that look random, these 2 wires here go to where the, like, you know, back into the engine bay somewhere, like into the wiring loom. So I'm going to find that, because maybe they're just, you know, I can just get rid of those, but definitely have to fix up this purple wire here and find out what they're for. But these four wires here went under the dash to that module over there on my barbecue there. So that's all disconnected. Everything's wrapped up here. I'm pretty sure everything's disconnected. I've got to watch out that firewall. I'm going to jack up the back of the engine a bit more. My jack keeps on losing power. My jack keeps on losing pressure, so I've got to jack that right up in the air, get that all sorted, and then yeah, set up the crane, which is in the back of the Silverado. Get rid of my wife's car at the way. Just put new brake pads in that, and discs and the rotors in the front of that thing, and then start yanking this girl out. So it's a beautiful day here in Kentucky. It's definitely autumn. Leaves are changing. Pretty nice actually. I like living out in the country. I don't know if you heard random gunfire, but it's sort of the normal around here. So yeah, let's pull this this old girl out and bring it up to the garage, and then yeah, that way I can start washing this thing out. It's filthy. Well, I set up the my beautiful runway for the engine crane. Got it all unbolted, obviously. I said that before, but I got it all ready to pull, and everything's pretty well off. I've just labeled stuff so it doesn't, not going to confuse me when I go to put it all back on. I mean, a lot of it's self-explanatory, right? But it was a bit of a bugger getting it out of those engine mounts. I had to rock it backwards and forwards. I can't imagine putting it back in. I think that's going to be a bit of a pain in the bum, and I'll definitely take people's advice on some of the forums. They're saying to put it in with the transmission, which I'm probably going to do. But I got it out here. And now I'm going to try to lift it up and out of the engine bay. It is quite high, so I might have to kind of like get it up in the air and lower the car back down to clear that front. I'll see how high that crane will get. Still got a bit of stroke in it, and it is already up about, I'd say, I don't know, a couple of inches. So yeah, let's give it a go, eh? Another thing I forgot was the starter was still connected. I unbolted, but I didn't undo the wiring, but I just tightened the exhaust and lifted it out. So far probably looks pretty well identical to the Buick motor. Well, it is, I know that, but so what I'll do next is start pulling it apart. You know, actually what I'll do next is I'll put it on the back of the truck. So I've got to work out how I'm going to do that now. Excuse me. So I'll, I don't know, try to turn it around this way and put it in the back of the Chevy, and then yeah, I'm just going to have to try to spin it round so I can lift it up and back the truck out, or I can just keep putting boards out that way and then just drive the Chevy forward and then try to get it around and then just back it in. I can't think of any other way, but yeah, I'll start trying to move it anyway. I'll be back. All right, got it back this far now. Gonna try now, pull this back a bit more. Let's try to start turning it around, so at least I can get the truck around. We'll see how that goes. I don't know. Can only try, right? It's not going to hurt. As soon as I can turn it around, I can get the truck underneath of it. That'll be good. Let's give it a go. Right, so I was lucky enough to slide this all complete up over the tyre, the two outriggers, and slide it in between it, and I had it strapped on the pickup on the truck so I can bring it all in one piece. So got it all hooked up, got the chain back on it. This time I'm gonna lift it up. I don't want no problems like I did last time where I dropped the engine right there. Luckily it did not hit the harmonic balancer. There's no marks on it, balancers. No, it missed it completely. If people are wondering about that, it's all good. It did not touch it. So it did smash the oil filter, but we're using the VR style one anyway, so it's coming off, so I'm not really worried. And so is the pickup and the sump. I'm putting all Commodore stuff on it. So what I'll do now is I'll get this off, and I don't have an engine stand here, but I will get an engine stand and put this one on, and we'll go from there, because want to do a comparison video of both the engines side by side. So, but obviously you can tell already a big difference, and I'll bring them closer. Just notice that this is the back of the engine on the Ute. On the Commodore engine, there's a water jacket that goes straight out on the intake, obviously to service the front of the heater. There's none of that on that one there. Sorry, there's none on this one. There's no water outlet there, but there is a few differences in it on the bolt-ons. But there's that. This is what I'm talking about. There's that one there. I wonder if the throttle body's even the same. Doesn't appear to be. Nothing like it, right? Nope, nothing like it. But anyway, let me get that off, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, this is just going to be a quick comparison between the two. I'll do a proper one when I get this on the engine stand and start taking the parts off to do the swap. So basically all the intake, stuff, exhaust, whatever's different is going to be on this motor. Alright, so but as you can see, exhaust is definitely different, completely different. I like this metal, that steel exhaust there. I wish it could be sort of made. It probably can be made to put in the Ute. All you have to do is probably, you know, put a flange here and turn this and put a. But what else looks different? Okay, sorry about the darkness in here, but I think these are pretty much. Oh no, these are different too, are they? Yeah, this is different. That's 100% for sure. The alternator still sits on here, or is that because it's rotated? I don't know, but see, this one here has a hole on it. This one here doesn't, but that means nothing. But the way this here is bolted, or does that's going to swing around more, but it is different. It is different, way different. The way that the power steering bracket bolts up is different. This is definitely different here. What was that? That holds the coil packs, right? Yep. Yeah, so this appears to be all different. So that's all different. I think I noticed also the water pump where this hose goes in. This is like, feels like it's solid, where on the Ute, on the VR motor, see it's loose. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I haven't screwed around with these, so I really don't know much about them, but pretty much the same location. I mean, that wraps around here, but anyway, that's power steering is different. I hasn't even got one. The oil filter adapter is different. It bolts up the oil pressure center, which is up the top here. It's on the side here, but all these bolt patterns are identical. I've got one of them, a Velcro one coming. I've got Velcro gaskets for the rocker covers, the pan gasket. That Velcro gasket's coming, so I can put mine on. Like I said, exhaust is different. Intake's going to be different. So basically, I'm going to take my stuff off, clean it up, and put it on that motor. Engine mount positions, you know, here you go. You got, this is the Commodore motor, so looks pretty normal there, right? Come on this one. There you go. There, all the bolt patterns are there. Even says EV6 like the other one did. So that says EV6, and this one says EV6 on it too. Is it the oil pressure switch there, and this has got one on the side of the block here. See that there? I don't know what that's for. There's a switch there on the Commodore. I don't think it appears to be even. Oh yeah, it's here. There it is there. So everything's there. Just got to be changed and swapped over. And obviously the sumps are different. This is a front sump. That's got like a square sump. That one over there laying on the ground. Yeah. All right, guys. Let me know what you guys think. What I've got to swap over. What you guys think is different. And I'm going to start stripping this on the next video. So I want to get the ute going. So I'm going back to Australia here for look at that. Bloody hell, got hot. Going back to Australia here for a couple of months. Coming up here just after Christmas. So I'm going to get whatever else I need. But I want the motor in at least, driving, driving and running, and then whatever I need, I can get it and have it shipped back or put in my suitcase. But we'll see, eh? So it's going to be a lot of fun. Screwing around. That was a pain in the butt, taking that engine out down that gravel. I'm glad I got the garage here. The other 57's outside. I've got to bring it back in. I needed the room. But like I said, guys, please like, subscribe, and the ute is going to come up real quick. Going to get a lot of stuff done on it. But next video, I'll do a comparison, start pulling everything apart and swap them over, and get the transmission all done and put it all back in. Let me know what you think I should get. Obviously, I'm doing oil change, oil filter, spark plugs, all that sort of stuff. This was running great until it blew up, but who knows? The mice had a field day in the engine bay, so under the dash. I've already found a couple of wires. Let's have a look. Which one here? Bastards. Yeah, I've got to fix stuff like this. They've jumped wires across. What have they done here, guys? What's going on here? Look, they've gone to a yellow wire, and it's got a yellow wire in it now. That goes to the transmission. So, did they break the wire maybe and they just put a new wire in it? Stuff like that I've got to work out. I've got to probably strip the loom and have a good look. Stick my head under the dash and have a good look at that. But here's where they started gnawing at that. That went to the LP gas. So if you know what that's for, let me know. Can I get rid of it? Does it connect to anything? I mean, it was on the gas. These wires meant to even be there. They don't even look like the same size. They look like someone's put them in. If they don't have to be there, I'll cap them off or something. But all the rest of the wires are all good. But I'll clean them up and I'll retape them. So make sure there's nothing on there. So I'm just going to give it a quick pressure wash. Got the pressure washer out. Just get all this shit off it. Just give it a quick scrub, and I might just get all the most of it off, and then when I get it up in the garage, when we put the motor back in, give it a proper wash and make it look decent again. And I'm just going to blow out the engine bay, the grease and shit off the cross member and stuff. So get all that done and make it look a bit prettier. Just working in filth, I can't stand it. All right, guys, that's it. Come up pretty clean. I gave it a quick wipe down. Like I said, I'll give it a bit of a detail when the engine and trans back in. Like there's a lot of crap on it. Gave that door a bit of a wipe as well, but much better. Just to, so we're not, you know, dirty. Cleaned up the inside here. I got to get the cover on. It's starting to rain here in Bloomfield, Kentucky. So that's it for this video, guys. Please like, subscribe, and yeah, next video will be a sort of a comparison between the two 3.8s, the Aussie and the American. All right.